Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring psychedelic insights.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, those like aha moments you have that can like totally shift your perspective, especially with psychedelics.
Right.
And we're going to be working with an excerpt from Psychedelic Insights, Understanding and Integration,
Okay.
to unpack kind of how they happen, why they feel so powerful, and what we can do to make them like stick.
Like immigration. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So to start off, like, what even is an insight?
Well, I think a good way to think about it is this like sudden clarity. It's like
Ah!
a new lens that you're viewing yourself and the world through.
That's a great way to put it. It's like the world suddenly snaps into high definition or
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
So let's explore some of the types of insights this source talks about.
Okay.
One that stuck out to me was personal insights.
Yeah, those could be really profound. It's like holding up a mirror to your subconscious and seeing all these like hidden motivations and fears and desires. Oh, wow. That you might not even know were there.
That makes sense. It's like when you have an argument with somebody and then like later realize, oh, that's why I reacted the way I did.
Right.
But with psychedelics, it's like that, but on a much deeper level.
Yeah, much deeper. It's not just intellectualizing your behavior. You're really feeling it
Right.
and understanding the root cause of it. It could be a very powerful tool for shadow work.
Ooh, that's interesting. So how do psychedelics actually facilitate this kind of deep personal insight, though?
Right. It's not like you just take a pill and boom, all your hidden truths are revealed.
Uh-huh, right.
The source explains that psychedelics alter consciousness by breaking down these barriers between our conscious and subconscious minds.
So it's like they're rewiring our brain to allow for these new connections and perspectives to emerge.
Exactly. And this allows for a more fluid flow of information and emotions,
Interesting.
enabling you to see situations without your usual filters and biases.
So we're accessing this hidden level of understanding that was always there.
Yeah, but it was inaccessible before.
But is there a risk of misinterpreting what we see during these altered states?
That's an important question.
Yeah, how do we know if it's a genuine insight or
Right.
just the drug talking?
It's crucial to not take everything as like the absolute truth.
Yeah.
There's always a potential for misinterpretation, especially when it comes to complex emotions or, deeply rooted traumas.
So it's not just about having these insights, it's about like critically examining them afterwards, too.
Exactly. Integration requires careful reflection and grounding,
Okay.
and often support from, therapists or experienced guides.
Gotcha. Okay, I want to go back to this idea of how insights actually show up during these experiences.
Sure.
Because the source mentions that it's not always just like a thought.
Right. It can be much more experiential.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like powerful imagery or symbolic scenarios playing out in your mind.
Whoa.
Even emotional releases.
So it's like you're having a direct experience of your subconscious.
Right, almost like a waking dream.
But then if these insights are so profound, why do they seem to fade so quickly after the experience is over?
That's the fadeaway effect.
Ugh, I hate that.
Yeah, it's super common. Even the most powerful life-changing insights
Yeah.
can become elusive when you try to recall them later.
This has definitely happened to me. It's like waking up from a dream and only remembering fragments.
Exactly.
Why does that happen?
Well, there's a few reasons. First, as the psychedelic effects wear off,
Uh-huh.
our normal consciousness comes back,
Right.
with all our usual filters and limitations.
It's like putting those old glasses back on after seeing in high definition.
That's a great analogy.
Uh-huh.
And then also the demands of daily life, all the routines and distractions, can overshadow those more subtle insights.
Like trying to remember a whisper after a loud concert.
Exactly. It was there, but the noise has just drowned it out.
And then also just trying to explain these complex personal insights to other people who haven't had the same experience.
Right? It's like trying to describe a taste of a fruit that they've never even tried.
Yeah. So how do we bridge this gap? How do we prevent these powerful insights from fading away into distant memories?
Well, that's a great question.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to pause and pick up on the next episode, because if these insights are so valuable,
Yeah.
we need to know how to make them stick. Okay, so last time we were talking about those haha moments,
Right.
the insights that can surface during these psychedelic experiences.
Yes.
But we kind of left off on how do we actually integrate those into our everyday lives?
It's a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
It's like you have the treasure map, but then you lose it on the way back.
Right.
But luckily, the source we're looking at offers some really good strategies for like capturing these insights
Okay, perfect.
and weaving them into who we are.
Give me the actionable steps.
Okay, so first step, write it down.
Good sense, even if it's just like a couple words.
Yeah, even if it's just a phrase that captures what you're experiencing,
Okay.
because they can really evaporate so quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
And the act of writing can actually help solidify the thought.
Oh, that's interesting.
You're forced to articulate it even if it's just to yourself.
Gotcha. So we've got our notes. What do? We just keep rereading them over and over.
Not quite. The next step is reflection.
Okay.
Set aside some time each day,
Mm.
even just a few minutes, to go over those notes and really sit with them.
So it's not just remembering it. It's about exploring it.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what does this mean to me? How does it connect to my life?
Okay.
And this is where talking to someone comes in,
Oh, yeah.
someone you trust, who can hold space for you.
Yeah, because these can be really personal. You don't want to be talking to just anybody about them.
Right. It could be a friend, a therapist, even a support group.
Okay, so we captured it, deflected, talked it through.
Now the rubber meets the road. This is where we take action.
This is where it gets real.
Yeah, however small. If you had an insight about a pattern in your relationships,
Yeah.
maybe you communicate differently with your partner.
Interesting.
If it was about a fear that's holding you back,
Okay.
you take a small step towards facing it.
So it's not just about having the insight. It's about, like, embodying it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can take time,
Right.
experimentation, stepping outside your comfort zone.
What if you do and it doesn't work?
That's where the final strategy comes in.
Okay.
You incorporate practices that support deeper integration,
Like what?
like meditation, breathwork, journaling.
I love those.
These can really help you stay connected to those insights.
It's like creating fertile ground for those seeds to grow.
Exactly. And remember, integration is a process, not a destination.
I like that.
It's an ongoing dance between insight and action.
So all of this is about psychedelic insights, but what about insights we have in other areas of life?
That's a great question, and I think it really highlights the value of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Because these principles apply to any area of life.
So it doesn't matter where the insight comes from.
No, it doesn't. Whether it's from a psychedelic journey or just a quiet moment of introspection.
Wow. So next time you have that moment of clarity, no matter where it comes from, don't let it fade away.
Grab your notebook, find a quiet space, explore.
Love it. Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into psychedelic insights. And I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired to actually start using some of these integration techniques.
Yeah, me too. It's really exciting to think about,
Yeah,
taking those moments of clarity and turning them into real change in our lives.
totally. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear any final thoughts you have on this process of capturing and integrating insights.
It's funny because we've been talking about psychedelic insights, but I think what's really cool is that these principles can be applied to any area of life.
Yeah, I just thinking that it's not just about psychedelics. It's about making those insights stick no matter where they come from.
Exactly. Whether it's a sudden realization you have during your morning commute or a breakthrough in therapy, it's
Yeah.
all valuable.
So it's not about the source of the insight. It's about what you do with it afterward.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those moments and honoring them, and then taking those steps to really integrate them into our lives.
It's like you're given this precious gem,
Hmm.
and you can either just admire it for a second and put it away,
Right?
or you can polish it, set it in a beautiful piece of jewelry, and actually wear it every day.
I love that analogy.
Uh-huh.
It's so true.
Yeah, and it reminds me of this time I had this really powerful insight about a pattern in my relationships during a meditation retreat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I wrote it down and I journaled about it and I even talked to a friend about it.
Great.
And honestly, that one insight has really helped me shift the way I approach relationships. It's not always easy, but it's been so worth it.
It sounds like a perfect example of how integration can work. It's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
It's about putting in the effort, showing up for yourself, and the insights you've been given.
And sometimes it's about having a little patience,
Yes.
not expecting results right away, but trusting that the work you're doing will eventually blossom into something amazing.
Exactly. It's like tending a garden. You plant the seeds, you water them, you dirt to the soil, and then you trust that those seeds will grow into something beautiful.
So to wrap up this whole episode, I want to leave everyone with this invitation. Pay attention to those moments of insight, those sparks of clarity in your life. Don't let them fade away.
Write them down, reflect on them, talk about them, put them into action.
Yeah, and how they can transform your life in ways you never thought possible.
Absolutely. Happy exploring, everyone.